He's dead last at 30. And in fact, he is even in last place at 40 meters. But Noah is a master at staying relaxed for the whole race. What does that look like? Well, it starts with his arms. And as long as his arms are coming up like this, check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. It keeps its stride open, so now he can go catch those ahead of him. Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. Check 1 2. So what we're going to do today is kind of get into what is a best practice to make sure that you're making the greatest decisions for your gym. When you're building your classes, everything has to have a balance. And you have to make sure that it's a business. So you have to make sure that there's proper currency coming in. But at the exact same time, you have to make sure that everybody's happy that comes to serve your purpose, your mission, and your vision. And so this is what we're going to discuss directly with one of our senior coaches who has a great flourishing boxing program, Muay Thai program, BJJ. And it's not easy to pull all of that off. You have to be what we call Merlin. And I don't know if some of you youngsters understand Merlin, but he was a magician, and literally magical. And in order to do that, you have to have the right stuff in place. The line items, the understanding of how to turn this from something that started in your head into an actual system, something that is scalable, something that is working for you on a consistent basis. So that's what we're going to get into today. So if you're a trainer running or operating the gym, this is a good conversation for you. With that being said, we're just waiting for our coach to click in, and there's a little technical issue going on. He's actually here, but we're going to discuss how you do this, and I'm going to give you a little something to take away from there once we close this out. But I just think it's time that you all take liberty to realize that the reason why it's so tough for you is because you're the talent. You're showing everybody how good you are, what you do. There's a way to do it in a manner in which you can multiply yourself tenfold. So we're going to get directly into this with one of our seniors, Coach Colazar. What's up, brother? How you feeling, champ?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Yes, I'm great. And I'm looking forward to this. I'm glad you detailed everything out. And, this is what we all have run into. I know I did, especially when I was cutting my calendar. I mean, I cut my calendar. Remember when I told you that I had 13 slots in my day, not including the boxing stuff, right? So I had 13 slots, and that got pushed from 8. So I ended up pushing during the peak seasons. It was 5 more people. That's a lot of people that you do during the day. So those are slots. So regardless of what you're doing in those slots, they were filled. I cut it from 13 to 4. So you can only imagine what I had to figure out, because there was no mentor. So what I ended up doing is starting to focus on what are those people that I can't work with directly? What are they going to get out of this? How do they see this as a shining light? So with that being said, what we're going to do is attack the problem straight on. So let's table this. Right now you have the Muay Thai, right?
Yep.
You got the Fighter Fit.
Yep.
And you got the competitive boxing. And we're going to table the hit 'em up for a minute. Because strategically, I got the plan for that too when it's because the only thing that I'm dealing with this too, coach, because we're in transition on what we're helping people with, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in the same boat with that. But guess what I'm doing? Going back to a book I wrote 8 years ago on how to fix this. That's what happens when you move off your own system. You're going like this a little bit. So with that being said, basically we're gonna attack it straight on with removing emotion, because emotion is the only thing that keeps you in that headspace. I love this background you got there. It looks real
Oh,
good. Is that in the
thank you.
gym or is
Yeah,
that your room?
I'm in the gym.
Yeah, that looks good, man. Wow. Yeah, you need to shoot on that wall. That wall pops. But the first thing that we have, and I deal with it because it takes time to overcome the muscle memory or gain muscle memory to be the person who can run the business, not the owner operator. Owner operators run into emotional ties, so it's harder to make decisions that are best. So I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to remove emotion.
Yep.
So just act like you're some guy and you're giving advice to somebody else. What is best for your gym right now? What is the best idea for your gym when you're thinking about moving something? And I'm going to give you this really powerful way to approach this from now on. I want you to start asking yourself this question. That's what I want you to put in your mind. Just put that in your mind as an idea. What is the best idea for my gym for this chapter of the gym? Your mind is going to respond. Don't answer yet. Here's the second part to the question, because that's as simple as it gets. When you hire somebody to come in and just do that part, uh, that's what they'll do. It's all good, champ. What's up, Charlie? Now, the next part of that is, what is the best decision for your gym to actually grow the gym for the benefit of everybody else and monetarily? That's the question, because you have to grow the gym, the value of the experience, which is crazy good. If anyone hasn't gone over to K2 Boxing and Jiu-Jitsu page, go over there and look at it. It's laid out, it's consistent, the message is confident, and that's powerful. When you're doing that, you've come a super long way with how you're making it clear what you're an expert in. Now, let's take that facility now to that next level, because you've grown it to that place. And I know the experience for the people are great. Now we're going to make it greater. So right now is the best thing to take that class and move it a little bit further, because I'm going to give you two things that you do when you're changing something. Okay. You don't have to give the answer because that's in your head. You know what that answer is, but I want you to write it down. What is the best thing for you to do? You already know the answer. It's been sitting on your hippocampus the whole time and your frontal cortex. That's the memory bank is there, but you just needed a nudge. This is what all of us need. That nudge is a powerful thing. So, coaching is what the best decision is. It's a dichotomy there. So these are owner operation issues. When you get that removed, everything starts to just be a simple decision. Now, why should they be excited that you're going to move it and this is going to be good for you? Because see, coach Orlando and Dondi were the night coaches, Coach Melvin, Coach Dondi, and Coach Orlando, and also Coach Greg. So those are four of the evening coaches, right? Guess when their classes started? 7
couldn't tell you.
7 p.m.
Mhm.
is when the classes started. Why? Because that's when the body tones up for night, not 5, where your class was 5 to 7. It's 7 to 9, and they would run to 10 and 11 o'clock because there's something that turns on in your body when you're not already winding down at nighttime when you train. That's when we trained all of the elite fighters that we train. There's a daytime, which is typically between 11 and 1, or that 12:30 slot to 2:30. I'm talking the gold medal Olympians, Justin Gatlin, Mickey Barber, Melissa Barber, Sean Crawford, Marion Jones, Ray Mercer, Julius Fogel, all of these people train in one of the other times. So you're actually taking your kids from introductory competitive boxing to intermediate. You're adding intermediate training to things that prepare them. So that's why they're going to this next phase now. That's the reason. What will benefit the gym is that you can now put that other class in that slot.
Absolutely.
Okay? That's something that, because I didn't know what time you did your class. But how ironic is it that that's when you actually should be doing it, now that you've already went through, smoked in the regionals and the locals, and now gone to the nationals. Now you're training them like the big boys. You're training them like they're going into phase 3 of the higher levels of amateur boxing. So this is exactly what you should have been doing anyway. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. It's looking for the nudge to be able to do something like that because
Mhm.
obviously we've had this schedule for a while now. It's
Yeah.
worked out well for us. Like you said, we've been able to do very well with our building from scratch over the past couple of years. Amateur boxing program.
Mhm.
Like you said, we made it. We do very well at the local level. We won at the regional level. We made it to the national level, and so the program has elevated, and now it needs to evolve. At the same time, the gym is growing and evolving, and now I need the time slots need to change and open up, so that's making that next move or
Yeah.
making the decision to change something that's been working for you, and taking to that next step is, it can be daunting. So that's why I was looking for a little bit of advice on your end from somebody who's been there and done that.
Yeah.
What would be the best practice? I mean,
Mm.
obviously I already knew, like you said, it kind of in the back of my mind that that's what it was going to end up being.
Yeah.
But it's nice to, when you ask for, that
Oh
coaching
yeah.
advice, that mentoring, it's like, am I thinking the right thing? Am I moving in the right direction? That's what
Yep.
the fraternity and really what we have in the school of boxing and, with master boxing at all is, you have a lot of experienced coaches,
Yeah.
and long history to be able to help guide in that process. So
Yes.
any of you guys that are out there who are listening, you make sure that you jump on board because everything just putting out pearls and a lot of things that most people don't understand or overlook. And so and things like this, scheduling in a gym really matters. And we've tried some different stuff. Like I said, we were trying to hit them up. We're trying and it's a battle for it's more than just a class. It's the battle for the time slot,
Yeah.
and putting it out at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to, like you said, you have to change to what the community and
Yeah.
what they're asking for, and what
Mhm.
we're asking for now is more of what we've got the School of Boxing teaching people actually the fundamentals.
Yeah.
That's what they want more of, and it's actually surprised me. I wasn't expecting what they're asking for, but that's what they want. So,
Yeah.
and as a business owner, you have to kind of take out what your, like you said, you have to stop thinking with what your preferences are, and what the people and what the community and that you serve,
Yes.
what they're looking for, and provide what they're looking for, because it's not about you as an individual.
Yeah.
It's about the thing that you've created, which at the end of the day, if you do it right, it's much much bigger than you, and
Yeah.
you're just there as a coach, a leader to serve that community. So
Yeah. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to warn you about what happens when you shift that time, coach. Because this is what because cut back. When I cut back, I wasn't on the night times. But see, there's a place down here in South Florida. It's called Fort Lauderdale. And I don't know if everybody knows it. Most people do. But for those of you who don't know about Fort Lauderdale, it's like this place that you go to, and it's like Saturday every day. Like if I go leave right now and just go over there, it's like the energy never stops, the happiness, the joy. That's what's going to happen to that class at night. When you walked into the night classes, when I stopped doing the night stuff at the gym and I would go over there, maybe we had to spar, maybe we had a real training camp. I remember when we were preparing for Tia Bragamoff, and it was a pay-per-view fight card. Oh, it might have been Grant, the former heavyweight champion that fought Lennox Lewis. We fought Grant. And that night, that training camp, what happened is we went, and it was just like the wall was lined up with guys who, just like I said, they've flown from everywhere to take part in this camp. People, when you get that, when a camp comes up, that's what's so great about a higher profile fight, because people, it's on the radar. So other coaches from other gyms are going to know that now you prepare at this time, just like they knew that we were headed for a pay-per-view, a card. Michael Grant is who we fought. When you are going up against these kind of levels of fighters, and the networks are promoting it and stuff like that, and amateur boxing's promoting it, and it's on posters everywhere, other coaches know that if you're going, they know, like Coach Sean, special shout out to Coach Sean from Norfolk. He got a great crew over there. I'm talking about, you ever want some high level amateur boxing and pro boxing work, Norfolk Hit Squad. So over here, those guys, all of those individuals, when you start doing it, it's on their radar and they reach out to you. Watch what happens. I want you to come back on and talk about this in like a month after you switch and say, yo, okay, I get it. What that does is it rings the bells to the other coaches who are at the higher levels, the guys who are level 5 coaches, level 6, which is, my uncle, and even the 4s, which are the guys who are the ones that are in the Olympics and stuff. It's going to ring the bell to those guys, because what you're telling them is that your program is at this different level. And that's how they rock. That's how you rock. You're no longer spoon feeding your fighters. You're taking them into the next echelon. So
yeah,
that's where the training is that you're doing, you'll implement, coach. You'll be implementing these things that I said nobody has access to that. And also you're getting your rules today.
all right, appreciate that.
I couldn't physically put my hand on them because that stuff is in our storage. But I had to come from brain and do the best I could. And it's great. You're gonna probably say, oh yeah, there are a couple of things I could use, or maybe not. You might have it so buttoned up now, but
No, there's
just,
always stuff. I mean, there's always stuff to.
yeah.
That's why you ask, right? If you think you know it all,
Oh, yeah.
you're missing something. You're missing something. That's the
Oh, God.
first thing that should be a red flag when you think you know it all.
Yeah. I think that when you create that shift, and this is where you start to go into those experiences that I got an opportunity to have, when I realized you always think you're training good. You always think you're doing, you always think you're doing good because you're watching people progress.
Yeah.
But something as simple as when they come in differently. They're going to come in at 7. They're going to come in different than they were at 5. Trust what I'm saying. Like at that time training, it's nothing but smoke. I got so much footage of the guys prepping other fighters or other coaches who were I remember when we helped Emmanuel Stewart with Klitschko when he was fighting Tony Thompson. Now, Tony Thompson's from our neck of the woods. He's from the DMV, so that was a tough one. But we sent 3 heavyweights. One got sent back like in the first day, because if you ain't giving them the kind of work they need, then peace. But one of our guys, John Hagler, he was bringing the smoke. And I acknowledged at that time, there is a difference in levels. Look who's reaching out to us now. You're talking about Emmanuel Stewart. Because, see, you're on a different algorithm. That's what's so great about moving that time slot. You're making a statement. Now, watch how many more people reach out to you to come and interact with sparring now. You already got people reaching out. But watch what happens. It's just a different frequency. So, good for you. Good for K2 boxing and jiu-jitsu.
Well, I appreciate it, Coach.
Everett Washington is it's going to pounce. You're about to pounce a vibration. And you already know the guys looking the part. You know that no matter who you are, where you're looking from, that they can tell that you high-level boxing over there. And those guys are being taught boxing. So,
oh yeah.
It's going to be a beautiful
evident.
thing. It's going to be a beautiful thing that you get. It's your showcase. So let them know you guys are about to showcase. This is the next level. Always make it so that they understand this is exactly why we're doing it, because it's time. And so for those of you who are ready, let's go.
All right. Perfect, Coach. Thank you.
Yeah, good deal, man. I'm glad I could help. And tomorrow we're doing film study over in the School of Boxing group. So we're going to break down 3 other fights, 5 minutes apiece, pros, cons, what to look for, what not to do, and how to construct your coaching manual, your corner manual for big fights like that, so that you won't lose by a little bit or get knocked out, but you'll figure out how to win, because winning is a recipe. So I'm going to share that with you guys out of that book that I just showed you. That is a good blueprint. So, it's always going to be coaches that's going to be sad. Fortunately, I was on the making them sad list more, but the few times that I won't happy, you don't like that feeling. It's not good. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and stuff. So if you guys are watching and you want to join that, if you're a member over here on Instagram on the subscription portal, you get access to come tune into that. So, Coach, good luck with that. Keep me posted.
Right. I will. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Good stuff, man. I appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing those boys do this thing and take it to the next level. Hopefully you've been enjoying those Olympics. And it's just been, for me, I love the Olympics. I love seeing some of the former guys that I got to work with. And Andre Dirrell, did I tell you, he blew us out of the Olympic trials.
Oh, yeah.
So having those guys, Justin Gatlin, and Dirrell, and just Melissa and them, they've been all in interviews. It's been great. This is going to be you in 2028. You're going to be talking about all of these Olympic situations, and I'm looking forward to being here to share it with you, brother.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Absolutely, brother. All right, champ.
Later.
Peace out, my man. So, guys, this is what we do in the School of Boxing. It's just knowing that process and knowing how to take your gym and make the right decisions, because what you deal with is those owner-operator issues. And those owner-operator issues are the issues that make a decision hard that shouldn't be hard to make. because you're emotionally tied. So what I say is sever that cord or get someone over you to say, hey, that's a good decision. That's not a good decision. I always table this conversation as of late. I have this new method that I say, what's a good idea? And that postures the mind to say, doing this to make everybody happier in my facility is a great idea. So that's what I'll do. The mind has so many gears. You just have to know how to trigger them. So that's all I got. I hope this was something that gave you value. Like I said, in the stories in the next 30 minutes, we're going to make sure that there's a link up there for you guys to come over and watch the film study for tomorrow. And that film study is going to break down how to work in a corner, preparing your fighter so that you don't come up on the short end. And there is a method. So a lot of you say, well, you don't know. Yeah, you do. That's why the people that win are in a system. Bud Crawford, those guys are in a system. Bo Mack, he was under a downline. Now his downline is those guys that's fighting for him. This is what I mean. You need 3 generations to be able to secure success, because the people who are learning, they got too much to learn to understand this part. All right. So hopefully you'll take the time, go up there, click the link, and make sure in our stories, take the poll, click the link, come on over. And for those of you who show up, we're going to have a couple of things that we're going to give you to use as far as what you can use as a trainer, gym owner. We always make sure that we make it worth your while. So that's all I got. Coach Bradley signing out. Be blessed at Godspeed. So long. Peace.